Hi everyone, it's Lavinia. Welcome to Inktober 2025. I am participating in the Zentangle challenge, and this is my calendar that I have gotten from Kelly Bluen at her Minutes of Zen. She is a certified Zentangle teacher. I am following along but making my own tangles. So what I received in the kit is this calendar. I am adding the tangles on this piece of cardstock that came with the kit, and also on my bijou tiles, on my Zentangle tiles. So we are at day 9, and day 9 is called Lilife or Lilife. This is how it's spelled. Lilife. They look like lilies. So I'm going to show you actually how this is my version. So I drew this one first, but this is what the basic tangle looks like, and of course make it your own, and that's what I did here. So let's go ahead and get started on the calendar. I'll show you how to do that first. Now the way I did it here, you can of course make one, you can make more. There's different versions that you can do. What I did is, let me see if I can keep that sort of. Not sure if it'll be there, but what I decided to do is, just to make it easier for me, whatever my box or square is, I'm just drawing a line down the middle because I want to get two sides, and then I'm just splitting these two rectangles in half. Again, just a light line. You don't have to do it this way. If you're great at symmetry and drawing those curves, go for it. My life is never symmetrical. Even as a kid, I just could not get the two sides of the vases to be symmetrical. So this is what I'm doing for me. So, and then to me, it looks like an hourglass shape. So I'm just coming from one side, kind of like a leaf, coming down, and then just coming back down here. And it's in pencil, so you can always go ahead and fix that. And then from here, I'm going to come here, bump here to this side, come down. If you need to pause, definitely go ahead and do that. If you need to erase after you've inked in your lines, definitely go ahead and do that. And then I'm just going to come and kind of see like where that middle area is, and then just bump and come on down. So it's almost like a figure 8 with points. And then I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to try and see if I can come down here, bump, and then just give it, this might be a little bit, too, just going to curve it out just a little bit, come this way. I think that's better. And then come in, and maybe I might come from here and give it that little bump there. Just play around with it. Nothing has to be perfect in Zentangle. It's more of a meditative, repeating line practice. So that's what I have for now. Again, might be different from what you might see in other videos, but this is my take on it and my version. So now I'm going to use my Micron PN pen. Again, use whatever tools you have. I have so many tools here, even just a regular pen, even a ballpoint pen. And now I'm just going to come and ink those curves like that. So I'm just inking in the outside. And if it comes out a little wonky, that's okay. Imperfection is fine. All right. Now I'm just going to take my eraser and just go ahead and erase the pencil lines. Okay. Now, in the normal Zentangle or the regular Zentangle, what the artist did, so this is the outline. What she did is she drew another almost kind of like a lemon shape, like coming this way and out. That's not what I did in my version. What I did first was draw this little teardrop. So she has that coming later. I drew it first. So that's what I'm going to do in my version. But if you wanted to follow this version, before you draw this in, you would do that outline or that aura. That's okay because I'm going to aura that later. But I am drawing in my teardrop shape first. And then the other teardrop will be here and here. Okay. And then I came and did that aura. So I'm just coming from the tip and then just coming sort of like a little outline. Okay. And then also what I did is here in the center, rather than putting another one of these little lily shapes, I decided to put these teardrop shapes. Again, it's your version. You do what you would like. This is what I wanted to do. Okay, just like that. And then I just took a line coming down the center to meet the top of that teardrop. Okay. Now also here, you'll probably see quite a few that will have these lines going this way. You can color them in. You can put little spheres if you want to. So you can do whatever you'd like naturally in your Zentangle. What I then decided to do was to put some more of those teardrops going along the side. So that's what I'm going to do. There is a Zentangle called Flux, but Flux it will be a teardrop and then it has usually like a line and a little dot, but I'm not adding the dots. So I am starting here at the top of this teardrop where this little corner is, and I am coming up, I'm bumping to the side and coming down. And then I'm just going to follow along, coming to the side and coming down, and however many I can fit in, I fit in. So it looks like this. I can get 4 in there. So that's what that looks like. And I'm just going to go ahead and continue for the rest. Again, turn your page if that's more comfortable for you. If you're left-handed, you know, you may want it to, you want to follow this design, maybe you're more comfortable filling in the left-hand side of the lily shape. Okay. So I'm just continuing with that. Up and down. So again, just some teardrop shapes. like that. And now the next thing I'm going to do is color in or fill in those spaces. I'm going to grab my brush pen because it's just a thicker nib, and we'll color that in quicker. So I'm going to start over here. Just fill in some of those spaces, the larger spaces first. And then I'm going to grab one of my smaller pens. Maybe I can use that pen. Now that I've got most of that in, I can color this in. And then over here, I'm going to fill in these little gaps. So just inking in those spaces. Okay, so that's what that's looking like. And then what I also did is I added one teardrop here as if it was almost that continuation of this design. So I'm going to add that one here. And then I had one line coming this way and then this line coming down that way. And then I used my graphite to darken one side. So I think what I'll do though is instead I'm going to use one of my pastel pencils. This is the Koh-i-Noor. And I'm just going to add it here. And maybe just a little touch right there. And I'm going to get one of my other tortillons. I have a variety of ones. This one has a little bit of green, that's fine. So I'm just going to blend that in, soften it in. And actually with that green, it's kind of nice because red, even though this is purple, but red and green give that the complementary colors, so they give it more of a little bit of a shading. They'll come around here. That is looking, I think, really pretty. I have to see where I can add in the name, so I'll figure that out. But let's go ahead and get to our compilation page. You know, I think I'm just going to add it here, and it may just be one set. So rather than having it double, I think I'm just going to have one set here. So let me go ahead and grab my pencil. And I think I'm just going to draw that one line coming down. And so this will be just one that I'm making here. So one of these. So just going to come here. And if it goes off the page, that's fine with me. This one actually works out well because it'll be like that. And then this one will continue here like that. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead, whoops, and ink that in. Again, if you need to pause to take a look, go ahead and do that. Okay, like that. And then what I did was add that teardrop first. And maybe that top of the teardrop will be there. Then I'm going to add that outline. Okay, just like that. I'm going to now add the center line in ink. And maybe I will erase those pencil marks for now. Okay. And now I'm going to add that flex shape. So just coming here, bumping and coming down. And I'm going to get in as many as I can. So if that means that it turns over, that's okay. So that's how that one is looking. Going to come up, come down. And that goes on the other side. Okay, I'm going to ink in these areas. Maybe I'll get my brush pen. Just to help ink it in a little bit quicker. And I know there's several of you that are following along and giving it a try. I think this one can be sort of a little bit challenging, at least for me, again, because of the symmetry. And that's why I like to change it up and make it my own. Okay, and then what I had here were these, and maybe I will add, let's do it in pencil first, see if I like it. If I want to add maybe some flux coming this way. Again, just to fill in the space. Why not? There's plenty of space here, so why not? Okay, like that. And then I'm just going to go ahead again and ink in these areas because I think that will make it stand out. And I may want to, over here, is just add, I like adding orbs. So I'm going to add these circles in here. Just to fill in that space. I might put a little bijou here. So just going to ink this in. So if you have spaces, you can add little embellishments, and as we go along, I'll show you some additional ones. There's spirals with a Z, which is sort of, you know, just this little spiral shell of bijou. And I'm just going to ink in these little areas around the spheres. Just gives it a little bit more weight. And now I'm just going to go ahead and add the graphite, but this is what it's looking like so far. Okay, so I'm just adding some graphite here, and then, so this is a 2B pencil, adding it here. Maybe I'll put some here to get blended. I'm going to grab my stump. This is a different blending stump. I have quite a few. This one I use with my white charcoal. So this side I use for the graphite, and this is for the white charcoal. This is in my usual pencil tangle kit that I keep. Maybe just a little bit here. Okay. So that's it, Lilife for day 9. So again, my version and the basic shape there. So thank you so much for watching, everyone. Take care. I will see you in the next one. Bye.